Is there anything this guy cannot do? Well, I mean, besides win a Super Bowl.
This is Sportcentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and after one night without basketball, one night too many, I should add, the NBA is finally back in our life as Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals goes down in Denver tonight, as the Nuggets host the Lakers. Let's start with that location, because Denver has been as dominant as a team could be at home this year, both in the regular season and playoffs, going 40-7 at home in the regular season and playoffs combined. But taking Game 1 on the road has been crucial for the Lakers in these playoffs, as they seize control both the Memphis and Golden State series by taking Game 1 away from home. And if they win Game 1 on the road again tonight, that would be just the 5th team in NBA history to win their first 3 Game 1s away from home. Historically though, this has not been a good series for Denver, as they have never beaten LA in a series and are just 8-25 all-time in playoff games against the Lakers, including a gentleman's sweep the last time they played, the 2020 Conference Finals in the bubble. But we've been saying this all playoffs, this is a different version of Nikola Jokic, as the Joker has really upped his scoring, dropping 30.7 points a game, while still pretty much averaging a triple-double. And it's not just the numbers, but the beauty in which he and the Nuggets offense are operating. But he'll definitely be tested tonight and in the series by Anthony Davis and the league's best playoff defense. And you can watch Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tonight on TSN, at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. But before that, it's the NBA Draft Lottery at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, as the fate of one team will be changed forever. We finally find out where Victor Wembanyama will land. Don't worry, we'll play more on that later in the show. To the NHL, the conference finals have been decided. And hands up if you predicted this one. Crickets? Yeah, that's what I thought. Put your hands down immediately because no one predicted this. And it just goes to show how wild this year's playoffs have been. After all, Florida, who was the 17th ranked team in the regular season, is somehow one round away from the Stanley Cup final. We thought a good way to check in on how unpredictable these conference final matchups are was to go over the bar down brackets from the start of the playoffs. And 9 of the 19 predictions had no conference finalists right. 8 of the 19 had one conference finalist right, and shout out to producer of this show, Christopher Hine, who had the Panthers in the conference finals. He was the only one, but only 2 people on the team had more than one. DZ had 2 with Dallas and Vegas, and Mike Antonazzi also had 2 with Carolina and Dallas. So congrats to DZ and Mike, and if you really did get all 4 right and you have proof, DM us and maybe we'll have you on the show. Now joined by Wes Chang to talk some conference finals. Great to see you, Wes.
Great to see you, Marissa.
Okay, Wes, is there an overall series bet that you're looking at that you really like?
I'll give you a long shot bet that I like. Kyle Lowry to lead the series in total assists at plus 1,200. That implies roughly an 8% probability, and I think it should be much higher than that. He led Miami in total assists last round. He averaged more assists than any Boston player in the previous round. And if you think about the Celtics offense, they don't really have a primary playmaker. This bet comes down to total minutes. He averaged 21 in round 1. 29 in round 2. If he can get closer to 30 minutes, I think this bet has a real chance.
We really miss Lowry in Toronto, but obviously he's having the last laugh here. He's playing well. What about focusing on a bet for tonight's game? What do you like?
With Game 1s, I'm generally cautious and want to see how both teams play it out. But for the Lakers here, they're going to really want to establish Anthony Davis early. They want to make Jokic work on the defensive end. And LeBron James, he's going to have to continue to operate as the rover on both ends of the court like he has been. Anthony Davis scored 20 points, LeBron to grab 8 rebounds. That pays right around even money.
Wes Chang, a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me.
Breaking news! Doc Rivers has been fired by the Philadelphia 76ers. Rivers failed to make it out of the second round in 3 seasons as the 76ers head coach. According to Woj, Philly's search for a new head coach will include the recently fired Nick Nurse, Mike Budenholzer, Monty Williams, as well as many more. For more on this story, click the link below.
So instead of Lakers-Nuggets Game 1, there's arguably a bigger NBA event tonight, and that's the Draft Lottery, as we will finally learn where prospect Victor Wembanyama will go. And in case you have not heard, he's arguably the best prospect that we've seen since LeBron. Seriously, that's not hyperbole. Just look at some of these highlights. He's listed at 7'2", but we know that's probably closer to 7'4". And that's one dribble from the three-point line before throwing that down. I know, yeah, he's got range, and a part of his game that's not really talked about is the passing. Just look at that vision. And let's keep the strong quotes coming, as ESPN draft guru Jonathan Givony said, quote, "The work ethic, competitiveness, and intelligence he shows on both ends of the floor, combined with his supernatural physical tools and talent, gives him a chance to become an MVP candidate and possibly one of the best players we've seen in this generation long term." So who's got the best odds of having their franchise change tonight? Well, the Pistons, Rockets, and Spurs all have a 14% chance of landing the first pick, followed by Charlotte, Portland, and Orlando. Now, in case you're wondering about the Raps, they have a 1% chance of landing the first overall pick. But just how realistic is a Raptors lottery win? Well, we ran the Tankathon lottery simulator many times, and we weren't going to stop until the Raptors won. And it took 79 tries. 79.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
In those 79 simulations, the Raptors got the third overall pick 4 times, the second pick twice, and the first pick just once. But what about the other teams? In our simulations, the Pistons were the big winners, getting first overall 22.7% of the time, with the Spurs and Rockets the big losers, considering they had the same odds as the Pistons. This is a very fun activity, and we encourage you to say goodbye to productivity for the rest of the workday and start running some of those lottery sims yourself. I mean, I've got to wait for the lottery to throw down, and then I can't wait for discuss on Twitter. I love how everyone on Twitter, like half people will be, it's rigged, everything is rigged. Love those. We love those. That's all for today. We'll see you up again tomorrow, 3 Eastern, no Pacific. Have a good one.